I really did enjoy having the opportunity to perform when I was in my 20s, 30s, and even into my 40s. But the thing that has always been my passion is choreography and figuring out the puzzle of how to start from nothing and create a dance. I have always been interested in movement invention, and so most of my works actually start from a very abstract level of movement and how do I create movement that interests me. So that's a core interest in my work, and I think it is the most common way I start a piece. The thematic ideas develop over time, and I've had an interest in history. So many of my works have investigated various histories from Eastern Europe and the fall of the wall in Berlin in 1989 to more recently, last 20 years, the history of Houston and the location of Houston, which has appeared in 3 evening-length projects that I have done. With this new project, Mapping in Glaciers, I started with movement again. And I started in 2017 on this project. And how I started this project was trying to get out of my own habits of movement invention. So in this project, I actually drew lines on a piece of paper and handed it to the dancers and talked about how do we create this two-dimensional line drawing on our dancer bodies in three-dimensional space. It was a problem to solve, and that's how we started, and that process of giving them physical two-dimensional maps ended up leading me to thinking about maps in general and how mapping space has been so much a part of my interest in dance, which led me actually to the University of Houston Library and pulling out books on cartography, looking at maps. And that led me to think about boundaries and territories. That led me to think about conflicts between territories and boundaries. And in that process of thinking about territories and tribalism, I also thought about how maps are changing through geology and geomorphology, and in particular, in our generation, through climate change and the melting of glaciers. So all of those ideas sort of came out in the process from starting from a very simple idea of movement themes. And all of those ideas come into play in this piece, Mapping in Glaciers. Samuel Lippman, everybody. If you don't want to come see dance, come listen to this guy's music. But come to both. Because actually, we're talking all of these thematic ideas. Really, it's a big dance and music piece. So, that's the part that I hope people really enjoy when they come see it, is like the dancing and the music and the visuals. Yes, there are these other thematic ideas that are relevant. It is still dance and music. I want audience members to feel that they can enter into the work and tell their own story. I like that about my field. It's like poetry in that way, where when you hear a poem, you may not understand completely what you're hearing, but maybe a few images come to you that are your story. I hope that there's a takeaway of this idea that we as human beings can connect to one another and to our planet as a possible path forward to a better tomorrow. If we don't think about how we're connected and interconnected, I think there's challenges for us. But if we can get to the connection, maybe that's a path forward.